Welcome back to another episode of Nitty Gritty Rewind as we break down the Ravens and Dolphins game from last Thursday night. Ravens went down to South Beach and won 28-6. In Lamar Jackson's return, he went 18 for 23 for 204 yards, throwing 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better comeback. Derrick Henry, 19 carries, 119 yards on the ground. Ravens started to look like the Ravens again. We kind of talked about it earlier, Nick, and previewed it last week. So I'll start with you. What were your thoughts on the game?
A good start. A good start. I mean, listen, we won 2 straight games, so we got some momentum heading into next Sunday, where it's going to be a tough environment on the road. But this was another example of us just needing to control what we can control and handle business when offered the opportunity. And we went into Miami, a struggling team, a team that has problems up and down the roster, from up and down the organization, from the front office. They just fired a GM. The head coach is on a hot seat. The quarterback is overpaid, and his arm is a noodle. And also the CTE, we're seeing the lingering effects of potential brain damage here. So all these things, it was working in our favor as far as us being able to just win a game. And honestly, when Tyler Huntley beat the Bears, it gave Lamar a chance to get a few days extra rest. Now, he did say he was 100% on Tuesday of the week. And it was a big deal Saturday, whether, he practiced on Friday or not. So clearly he was close. So, got a few extra days. That's great. A little rusty at first, as to be expected. But, we hung in there. When we got our chances in the red zone, we were able to convert early. And I thought that was huge. We didn't have a whole lot of trips to the red zone in the first half. It was kind of stagnant on offense. Our defense kind of held it down for us in that regard. With their bend but don't break approach and getting timely turnovers and timely plays. But as far as the offense, we converted in the first half in our red zone trips, put those 2 touchdowns on the board, and allowed us some breathing room to kind of feel our way into it. I think once we saw Lamar run in the third quarter, I think it was over after that. Once he proved to himself that he felt pretty good, and we saw that he felt pretty good, because before that he was tentative. Once we saw that 13-yard scramble, he was like, that's my Lamar. And then after that, it was over.
Definitely. No, just to piggyback what you're saying, it's definitely a step. These 2 wins, especially. So I'll take it back, because I between being sick and our schedule, so I haven't had a chance to really talk about the Bears game. So just the fact that Tyler Huntley was able to go out there and will them to win, is an encouraging sign. Pretty much that win, pretty much, and we can give Tyler Huntley a lot of credit. You mentioned this last time y'all did a rewind, Nick. He deserves a lot of credit. We knocked Tyler Huntley, and granted, we know he's a backup quarterback. That's exactly what he should be, is a backup quarterback. But he played his ass off that game. In that game, and I text Keith, I said this before the game, my feelings about the Ravens feelings, but to me, that was the biggest game in Ravens franchise history. Like, it was going to come down, and they played Super Bowls, they played playoff game, but it was going to come down to that game was going to mean whether we maybe see Lamar Jackson for a long time. We was going to see him.
Somebody was getting fired, Keys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it was a matter of whether we was going to be buyers, sellers. It was going to be bad. It was going to be bad. So the fact that he was able to go out and play the way they play, the defense gets some turn. Nate Wiggins get that turnover. It was a big thing, especially since they haven't been turning the ball. Like, it's things that we haven't seen. And granted, the schedule has been what the schedule has been. And like I said, I think last time we talked, that's the great. They played the Chiefs, the Bills, the Lions, so they just didn't look pretty, good in those games. But so you come back, you take care of the Bears, you come back and you do what you're doing on Thursday. You put yourself in a position, and the only thing you can do is you got to build, man. Granted, it's still a holy defense. Defense still giving up too many yards, too many big run plays. That soft zone they keep. And my thing about it, the blitz was working against Miami. The man-to-man was working against Miami. Why you keep going to this 2-show zone, and what they do towards them time rush, they throwing it right in front of defense? I don't want to see that anymore. Like, I want them to just be aggressive, put Kyle Hamilton in the box and just keep blitzing. Just keep doing this because at this point you need, unless they make a move before 4:00 tomorrow, they're gonna have to generate pressure for the rest of the season, dog. Like it's no okay, let's sit back and hope that Mike Green gets to him. Let's sit back and let's hope that Kyle Van Noy gets to him. No, if you don't bring in a bona fide pass rusher, you are going to have to blitz.
TikTok.
Exactly. You're gonna have to blitz more than 50% of your snaps going forward. And because we realized last night, not last night, the Bills Chiefs game, we realized that the only thing that you can do to beat these teams is get pressure on the quarterback. That's literally the only thing you're gonna be able to do to beat them. The Chiefs, the Bills made Patrick Mahomes so uncomfortable because they just kept pressure. The Ravens are not doing it, even to the point where Tua was comfortable in that game. Granted, he sucks, he is who he is, but he was very comfortable. The same thing with Caleb. Caleb was just comfortable too. But to your point, Nick, that you made against the Rams is a great point. You got to start somewhere. You feel me? Like you got to. It was building. It was building. So the Rams game, you give us 17, even though the Rams didn't play their best. It's a stepping stone. You come out against the Bills, you get the turnover, you get your offensive right. It's a stepping stone. Then you come out and you force fumble against the Dolphins. Now we're starting to see a pattern right here. Now, hopefully next week you plan a rookie quarterback. Well, a second-year quarterback that didn't play last year. So rookie quarterback.
They looked good yesterday.
Yeah.
Man.
So and you're dealing with a Brian Flores defense. So you're gonna have to keep building. You're gonna have to keep building. But the way that not the way the defense plays, because it was the same way last year where you give up yards, but you get that turnover. So it's like it's the bend that don't break, like you said, the bend that don't break. That got to be better. That has to be better. The still, and granted, the offense punched it in Miami, but bro, it should not take to 4th and goal on the 1 yard line to score a touchdown with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson back there. I'm so tired of if we get to 3rd and goal, 4th and goal, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Like I don't understand why we struggling in short yardage so much. And it might come back to haunt you in the big game. I'm not happy the Ravens 1-5, of course, but it's taking the decision out of John Ball. You can't be conservative when your team 1-5. You can't be conservative when your team. You have to go for it at 2-5. 3-5. Like Andy Reid last night went for it on 4th and 17. I was thinking, like, I wish my coach would do some shit like that. Like, I just wish my coach would do something like that. But no, like you said, it's well documented, out on the Ravens. But they have been doing things to give me back confidence. Like the things that I expect them to do during the season, play complementary football, get turnovers, because we can't depend on Lamar Jackson to
do every
score 35 points a game, though. So that's where my sentiment is coming from, where you got to be able to play defense, and the defense has been. But like you said, since the Rams game, it has been better. But it don't get no easier. You got to go to Minnesota this week. It don't get no easier.
It comes down to the fact that the team is showing you the fight. The coaching staff is showing you the fight. Now, Eric DeCosta, he has to do more of his job. There's no reason why we go into a season every single year with glaring needs, glaring weaknesses. You're trying to patch these holes up when everybody's trying to do the same thing at the same time, which is going to drive the price up of these players. Jalen Phillips is an expiring deal. He's going to be a free agent at season's end. He just went for a 3rd round pick. So teams know, all right, you need something, how bad you need it. And they're going to try to extract everything they can out of it. So my issue is waiting until the trade deadline to continue to fix issues, because we may not be able to afford a pass rusher at this point. And EDC, he ain't trying to pay whether it's money or draft capital. He's trying to be cheap about it. So this shit is ridiculous, but we need to make a move.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like when you wake up or whenever you check and you see Jalen Phillips going for 3rd, your team dropped the ball. How many? Because
the Eagles,
right? But I text you, who was our 3rd round pick? Emory Jones.
Emory Jones this past year.
Obviously, we don't know how to draft in the 3rd round. Like we might have had a dominant rough. Since EDC been, we might have had dominant rough. I ain't looking at all the drafts, but I know these recent draft 3rd round picks have not been good, bro. And we talk
3rd, 4th, 5th. Some of them are out of the NFL. Like it's bad.
And we talking about a team that started out bad, and the team that's getting confidence back. You got your MVP quarterback back, who's still playing like an MVP. Do something to bolster that defense. Like the Ravens right now are missing pass rush, but they cannot get to the quarterback.
And we blitz so much that we're susceptible to speed. Like when you blitz and the speed gets past the blitz, it's a big play. 100% of the time, and that's why half the time you'll see us getting beat on the edge or speed killing us is because we're forced to try to create some pressure because we can't get it up front with 4.
Right, and that's what I said. I think that's imperative for them to go get They need to make two moves. They need to go get another defensive tackle, and get a pass rusher. One of them can be average, and then one of them going to need to be good to great. Like you don't have to go out and get two great players, but you can go get a decent pass rusher and a great defensive tackle, or a decent defensive tackle and a great pass rusher. But you got to make these moves as soon as possible, because you look at.
You got less than 24 hours.
The quarterbacks. You look at the quarterback. Even though the Ravens are winning these last 2 games, these quarterbacks are too comfortable, man. They way too comfortable. And like you said, a competent quarterback that's not the Caleb Williamses or the Tua, but the Patrick Mahomes and the Josh Allens and the whoever the Aaron Rodgers. You're not gonna be able to blitz them like that.
I can envision a scenario where we do make this run and sneak into the playoffs, and then to your point, the issues that we've been trying to hide and mask as far as on defense all season in a playoff game where teams are going to expose your weaknesses and hone in on your weaknesses. That's when the lack of a pass rush and the lack of a linebacking core, it's I don't want to say it's a problem because, Swiss Army knife is Kyle's best role, but it's a problem when you're asking him to be your pass rusher, your linebacker, and your goddamn safety.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a boy.
Right, exactly.
I am a boy, Damon.
Everything. Green dot when we're roll calling out there, everything. Like, and then so there's the thing, like, God forbid, but he has little nicks every now and then. Like, God forbid he miss a game, you're done. Like, what I'm saying. You want it's not what you wish for, it's not what you hope for, but they got to make a move. Right? You can't just keep on saying, Kyle, we need you to do everything, like you said, and not give him help. Go get a pass.
I still think even if we sneak into the playoffs, somebody got to be on a hot seat just because these are perennial issues. Mm-hmm. We go from saying this is a Super Bowl roster because everybody drank the Kool-Aid to O-line, D-line, linebacking, secondary. Like, you shouldn't need more than 3-4 positions at a time. Like, it's utterly ridiculous. And regardless of how great Lamar is, how well we can kind of right the ship, so to speak, we got to start asking these questions from the people making the decisions, because we're hoarding draft picks, not using them optimally. We're using our money incorrectly. We're signing Cooper Rush to deals for no reason. We're giving Jair Alexander money to not play, and so on and so forth. I could keep going. Like, it's not even that fact that we're not spending it. We're just not spending it well.
Yeah, because you can't imagine in your head, right, that the Dolphins called or the Dolphins put it out there, and Edie said no. Edie said no, we'll just give you a 4th, and they said, well, the Eagles giving us a 3rd, and they said, oh, we'll pass. Like, if you don't give that 3rd round pick up, like I'm at the point now, like, and granted, Trey Hendrickson might not be a good case because he's 30, but dog, if they want a 1st round pick, send it. Like, what do we need the 1st round pick? We're trying to win a Super Bowl. What the hell we need the 1st round pick for? Like I said, Trey Hendrickson might not be the ideal example because he's 30 and he still needs to get paid, but another bona fide pass rush. If the Jets, if you're calling the Jets and they saying you send us the 1st or 20, right? Yo, send the 1st. You got to trade these picks. Like, we can't keep on hoarding these picks and they're going to be back into the 1st round anyway. There's no reason why we can't, trade these picks. A Dexter Lawrence, like, these people come free and these teams ask for 1st round draft picks. Yo, send these your 1st round draft picks. We got one goal, and it ain't the 2026 draft. It's not that. It's not that. So you gotta pay to play, and that's what it comes down to. You gotta pay to play. If they ask for 1st for Quentin Williams, he immediately makes your defensive line one of the best defensive line in the NFL again, because your Pro Bowl All Pro player is out. So
and think about the message that tells the team.
Mm-hmm.
All in.
You got to make a move, and it's sad that they haven't made a move yet. I expected this to happen as soon as them final digits happened in Miami. That they won that game, because I think that's what he's banking on. Let's win these next 2, then you won the game. You should have been trading. Whoever you wanted to trade for shouldn't even been playing for that team on Sunday. You shouldn't even risk that. I
just hope they don't say Carl Lawson and Adisa Isaac.
Cut Carl Lawson. Cut him, bro. Like, I don't want to say. What did he say today? Carl Lawson, he's supposed to be active. Who the cares about Carl Lawson?
They're gonna say those are the big deadline deals.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Jaden Phillips would have been perfect for the Ravens. Perfect for the Ravens. Like, that's the way he did. Like, somebody that 6 million 3rd round draft pick. And mind you, the Ravens got more than one 3rd round draft pick right now, plus a couple picks that might be getting from the comp picks that they might
Comp
get.
picks, yeah. I mean, they got the draft picks there, but
you got to be able to beat Howie Roseman for that deal. Like you got to be able to beat him for that deal.
I mean, you're supposed to. I mean, just a quick stat, real quick. I mean, the Ravens in the last 3 games haven't allowed more than 17 points. Their first game last Thursday against the Dolphins, they didn't allow a touchdown. So, I mean, you talk about it all the time, Nick. You was 30th, 31st. Just get to 20th, 19th. Like, just be formidable. And I mean, that's what you kind of seen bend don't break.
Right. But I'm afraid that they're going to use this and say, see, our defense is good. We don't need nobody else. I'm afraid they're going to use this app. And that's not, and that's not, I hope they don't go in that direction. Like, we good, we don't need nobody else. We stopping teams now.
That sounds like some Ravens. That sounds like some Ravens PR.
Caleb Williams and Tua is not a good enough subset to make that decision. I know what you did for Stafford, but Puka went out. It was a windy day. They didn't throw the ball that well that day. It's not a good enough subset for me to say now I don't need no pass rusher.
And honestly, we all are seeing what's up with the defense. I mean, even Tua, sailing a few passes, throwing a few balls in the ground, the CTE kicking in. There's plays to be had against the Ravens defense. Now, have we stepped up in that red zone? Yes, we've tightened up in that red zone. And that's a winning formula there. If you can hold teams to field goals, it don't really matter how many yards they get. But to your point, what happens when you're playing a quarterback that's more efficient, a quarterback that's going to make you pay for those mistakes more often? We have to limit the mistakes, and I feel like we're trying to scheme away our weaknesses, which is good. That's you have to coach to your personnel, but we run nickel package more than any other team. We have 3 safeties on the field more than most teams, and that helps in some instances, but it does make us susceptible to the run issues that we see. It makes us susceptible on the edge. We're a less physical team, or a less powerful team, I should say, because we have so many DBs on the field. So, I mean, listen, man, we have to make a move to give ourselves a chance to be more versatile on defense. To your point, one Kyle Hamilton knick-knack, and now you're looking at the situation completely different. You don't have a D-line, you don't have any linebackers, and you don't have Kyle. What are we going to do? You got to bring in a guy that demands some respect, that can also get pressure without having to send 6, 7, 8 people. Now, mind you, that's been a winning formula for us, but there's going to be quarterbacks that pick apart a blitz easily, especially against these corners. And you know what I mean? It's not like we have a no-fly zone back there like we thought we would have. Like, Wiggins can be had. I like his mentality, but he struggled versus the Bears until he got the interception. He tightened up in that second half. He can be had. We've seen him against bigger X's. Nico Collins, he can be had. So, the best quarterback's going to exploit that. We got to figure out a way in which we don't even let it get that far. We need to get quarterbacks down on the ground or get some hurries. I miss the word pressures. We used to joke about pressures. God damn, I miss pressures.
No, for real. I mean, they made the big trade for Roquan a couple years ago. It's time to make another trade like that. You can go get a duck. You can trade one of them picks and get a Dex Alonso, Quentin Williams. You have to. You got to show up that D line. You can't be blitzing and, like you said, be successful to pass and giving up 6, 7 yards and run. That's what this defense is. They just happen to get lucky this time and get the turnovers. But they are playing better. You don't see a lot of people as out of position as they were. So I give them that. They more tactical now. And I think the fact they just changed what Kyle doing makes his defense a lot better. So the trade is working out evenly. Oweh is doing what the hell he's doing, but he's been good here. So he's been decent here. You saw him with the turnover, the first turnover in Miami that really set the game up for the Ravens how they wanted to go.
Should we reevaluate what our defensive scheme is? Because it's a little different when Mike is cooking up the scheme and putting players in the right position to make plays. I think we're trying to emulate what he created for us, and it's just not the same. And when you see Odafe get traded and has 0 sacks from the season and then immediately have 4 sacks for a different team, you have to start looking at people funny. Like, do we have guys and we're just not putting them out there to make the plays? Or is it both, where we need talent, need a different scheme as well? It's so many questions when you see somebody make immediate impact on a different team. Dude didn't have a training camp. He didn't have any of those things. He stepped on their field and started sacking people, and that's what we were waiting for all season. So I have to look at us a little funny too. Like, what is the real issue here? Is it the players? Is it the personnel, or is it the scheme, or a little bit of both?
And to your point, my is when you lose your D line coach and your secondary coach, I think that's what it is. And then on top of so like I said, I always say, not only did we lose our defensive coordinator, we lost Anthony Weaver, and Denard Dillard too. Like that defensive line, that secondary has not been the same since both of them left. The defensive line, I don't know, what's been going on, but like I said, we can't go for somebody having 10 sacks to 0 this year, like you said in the forums. Like somebody got a question, like this is not right. Van Noy has been non-existent, and now he might be old, but he was still getting them sacks last year. He was around the quarterback last year. So I was like, what is such so different this year that we are literally getting no pressure unless we blitz Kyle Hamilton? Say no pressure.
I mean, it used to be a point in time where the Ravens drafted well defensively and developed. And that's not what you're seeing anymore is the development of players. I think we call out Nate Wiggins a lot, but I don't feel like he's been properly coached here in Baltimore. I don't feel like he's been given the proper tools to be the corner that we need him to be. And that goes back to what we talk about all the time, coaching. I mean, outside of Marlon and Kyle and Matabike, who are homegrown guys on this defense? Like this is they all transplants. They all bringing guys from the outside trying to plug them in. It shows they have no real cohesiveness, at least until the last 3 weeks.
We need to continue building that. I mean, this Minnesota game, it's huge, bro. And I don't want to make too much out of them beating the Lions yesterday. It was a division game. You know how those get.
Yeah.
But at the same token, I was pleasantly surprised. I was expecting them. Their season was trending down. The rookie quarterback, last time we saw him, he just was not a good player. So it looks like the time off, time to watch as well, did some wonders for him. He was confident in the first half and made some plays. It's going to be a tough environment in Minnesota with that crowd and that noise. Wow. And you mentioned Brian Flores. Last time we saw him, it was the 0 blitz game. Your favorite memory. So,
don't tell me about that.
It's that Thursday night, wasn't it?
That's that Thursday night game. That shit was terrible.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, I mean,
but if we want it, we need to win.
I mean, like, and Wayne, we haven't mentioned what Lamar said. Like, it's do or die now, and I like that mentality. Like, I feel like they didn't have it. They was flying high. We Super Bowl favorite.
Feel ourselves too much,
man.
Yeah.
And now I like the mentality that every game is a playoff game. Every game is do or die. You gotta leave it all in the world. I like Lamar coming in and saying, "Yo, get these damn games out of here.
Yeah,
get this shit out of here." Like, what are you talking about? I didn't like it when it was John Harbaugh did it. But now that Lamar did it, it's like, all right, okay. Like now we starting to trend in the right direction a bit. Like we realize, like, all right, the most important thing around here is winning games. Like, and the Ravens wasn't doing that. So something got to give. You got your quarterback, like you said, Nick. Your quarterback, your players are making changes. The same like the coach that was coming around. EDC is you up the bat, brother. You got to go out and make a move
and fix the mistakes you've made.
Yeah. And that Lamar news was so encouraging because I mean his leadership's been questioned throughout his whole career. What type of leader is Lamar? He's not the vocal guy. But I mean, you've always seen the respect his teammates have for him. And some people just lead by example. And I think him speaking up doing that's a step in the right direction for Lamar. And I think that woke the team up a little bit.
And honestly, we don't know what goes inside the castle because the initial stories was a completely different story than what Lamar relayed. Maybe it was a situation where to quell any things in the locker room that could be brewing, you got all these unnamed sources talking to reporters when things were bad. He comes back and say, I did it.
Yeah.
Maybe what if he didn't do it? That's just him saying, I support it being done, and we need to win.
But he will say that because he got somebody to take First thing that came to mind. That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw that report. So he said I did it. But if he did though, I'm happy. But going forward.
Hold on. Repeat that, Keys, because it was going in and out.
I said I agree with you. The first thing that came to mind when I saw that was like, he's lying. Like but then even if he is, That's what leaders supposed to do. You got a lot of troops. Like you got to put it all on your shoulders. And whoever the coaching staff did or somebody else did do it, and the fact that Lamar came and said I did it, everybody got that should put everybody good vibes. Like, all right, like come on, let's get this right. Like our quarterback taking this on his shoulder, like he's been questioned about whether he's healthy, whether he's quitting. All right, he's all in. He's clearly all in. Let's go. It's time to go. Make a move, EDC. That's really make a move. Get on the phones. Call somebody. Call one of the New York teams. Call somebody and get somebody in here now. Like you can't. You're not gonna be able to compete down the season.
We've always been more dangerous when we are the hunters as opposed to being the leaders of the pack. So in that regard, man, like make a move. Get the juices flowing even more in the locker room. Infuse some energy on that defensive line, and long term, mine as well. We're paying Matabuke, and we don't know if he'll be able to return to football. At a certain point, we got to start thinking about the future as well, and it might require using a high draft pick. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, pretty much. If you gotta write that $96 million off the books, or you gotta eat that $96 million, you gotta go get somebody because if you need somebody to replace him and. We don't trust you, EDC, to throw it through the draft. I'm sorry. No. We don't trust you to throw it through the draft. We can't trust you with trying to build that defense line in the draft. Now, if you want to find a diamond in the rough like a Kyle Hamilton, all right, maybe. But no, we can't trust you to draft this next edge rusher because you haven't shown the ability to do it. I mean, you drafted Owe in the job.
We ain't even gonna give him the credit for Kyle because Kyle should have been drafted. Kyle
I mean, Kyle's
supposed to have been off the board.
Yeah, he drafted Owe in the job before George Pickens at that. But we can't
still trip me out.
We can't give you the benefit of the doubt. We can't do that. We Owe had it. I always remember one play in here, and that was 3 years ago when he stripped Clyde Edwards-Helaire against Kansas City. You remember for one play, and the Jabo hasn't done anything. So it's
like checks.
Pretty much, man. You got to make a move. I think that's as a fan, you get the confidence back because your team won 2 games in a row, but you need more. We need more. Like we need more at this point. You got to. I mean, because as easy as the Ravens schedule on paper, there's some tough teams on that schedule, man. The Vikings, the Packers, the Patriots, and you still got to play Pittsburgh and Cincinnati 4 times.
Okay.
It's tough. Like it's not. You need pass rushers for Aaron. You need pass rushers for Joe Flacco / Joe Burrow. You're gonna need a pass rusher for Jordan Love. You're gonna need a pass. Like you need the guys, man. You need a guy. You need a guy.
Facts. So we'll be back Thursday with a new episode of Nitty Gritty Sports Talk. We'll figure out if the EDC and the Ravens made a move at the deadline, and we'll preview the Vikings game in Minnesota this Sunday. Everybody stay safe and blessed. We out.